I am the chair of the undergraduate social work department at Rhode Island College and was the executive director of Youth Pride. I also help coordinate the group that's here today advocating on behalf of the bill. There's going to be much testimony from mental health professionals, doctors, lawyers, educators, parents, and people affected by conversion therapy to explain why we need to ban what is a harmful procedure on children. The focus of my testimony is going to be what youth have to say about this. I volunteer weekly at Youth Pride and ask them what they would like the legislators to hear. First, Nizaya, Tanika, and Bren Lee told me to tell you that they're fabulous the way they are. The differences that they represent are great and should be accepted and respected. They don't need to be changed, don't want a message that they should be changed, and they think that people should know better in 2017. Two young people had been through conversion therapy in Rhode Island and asked me to tell their stories. One young woman's grandmother made her go to a therapist who told her she wasn't normal, who berated her, who told her that she wasn't what God wanted. She said, and I quote, "I spent years trying to please her and it took a toll on me. I was so confused and full of anger, but I loved my grandmother, so I went. I still feel bad about it now." A young transgender man was forced to go to a conversion therapist before his transition. For 2 years, he was told to pray harder, taught how to behave and how to dress appropriately, and shamed into behaving in a manner that went against his reality. He said he would have committed suicide, but he thought he was going to go to hell.
We're approaching 2 minutes.
Okay, lastly, this is a really good story. Nizaya told me to tell you that his life is conversion therapy, that every time he's made fun of, it's conversion therapy. Every time he expresses himself and someone tells him not to, it's conversion therapy. Every time he gets beat up, it's conversion therapy. He said if that worked, I would be straight. So I want to implore all of you to please pass this bill. There's lots of kids that are counting on it.
Okay. Thank you, Wendy. Ms. Becker, thank you very much. Any questions? Representative Handy, question.
There we go. Thanks. Two things. Can you clarify, because I know you talked to me about the bill already. The bill doesn't affect ministers per se unless they're doing this as a therapist. Is that right?
Yes. Thank you for asking. This is just for licensed mental health professionals, so it would not include people who don't have a license through the Department of Health. I also, if I could, since I am up here, I wanted to comment. There are not a lot of practitioners. We know of two, one of whom is on the board of NARTH, which is the leading conversion therapy group. He lives in Providence. He's a psychiatrist. And frankly, even if it's one youth who engages in this practice, we know how harmful it is. So for me, I don't want anybody to go through this.
Will we hear his name before the end of the evening?
Yeah.
I would hope.
It's Dan Harab.
Wow. Yeah,
It's on the North board.
Someone that many of us electeds know very well.
He's run for Providence mayor.
And I don't know that this one needs, but I was curious about the research, because fluidity makes sense to me. I think we're all in transition across a lot of things all the time. I mean, I think as we grow older, we're becoming more liberal or conservative and things like that. So fluidity makes sense. If it's possible, it would be helpful maybe to have context for that.
So let me say, I actually think that's irrelevant. So we're talking about people who identify in a particular way and are being forced by their parents to identify in another way. Somebody who is sexually fluid, they can be sexually fluid. There are lots of high school students who identify in a range of ways with regard to their sexual orientation and gender ID. So we're not talking about that group. We're talking about people who are not sexually fluid, who identify as gay or lesbian and are being forced to try to identify in another way.
Thank you.
Any further questions for this witness?
I'm sorry, can I answer another question that wasn't asked to me?
No, because, thank you. Thank you for your testimony.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
because we have 82 other people that are waiting. Thank you.